Hey everyone, Austin here with Computer Upgrade King. Welcome to our product teardown for the AERO 17 HDR XA by Gigabyte. This powerful gaming laptop comes stock with a 17-inch UHD, that's 3840 by 2160, individually factory calibrated and X-Ray Pantone certified HDR 400 IPS anti-glare display, and it also is coupled with a thin bezel. Our model comes stock with the Intel 9980HK and the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2070 8GB Max Q model. This model also has 16 gigs of DDR4 2666, upgradable to 64 gigs, a 512 M.2 NVMe. A few more awesome features of this AERO 17 are a powerful 94 watt-hour battery capable of 8 hours of use, HEMIC 3 surround sound tech. It only weighs in at 5.5 pounds, and it has all kinds of ports on this thing. It has 3 USB 3.1 Gen 1s. Those are Type A's. Those are your normal USBs that everybody's familiar with. It has a Thunderbolt 3 over USB Type C, an HDMI 2.0 port, that's brand new, a DisplayPort 1.4 over USB Type C, another cool feature, a 3.5mm headphone and microphone jack, a UHS 2 SD card reader, and an RJ45 jack. Now that you've been introduced to the laptop and some of its awesome features, we're going to go ahead and get into the teardown. And as you can see here, nice clean. This is the top of the laptop. This is the bottom of the laptop. Look at all this venting. Nice aeration, I like that. All these screws on this laptop are actually the same size, so you don't need to be but so careful when you are taking them out. What's important to note though is that these screws themselves are a TR6 screw, which is a hex screw, so don't attack this with any typical Phillips head. You will mess up the screws, in which case we'll still go in order and we'll still put them in this screw grid array like we normally would. Keep track of everything even though they are the same size, so we're going to do it that way. For this next step, you just want to get your handy pick here. We refer to these as guitar picks, whatever they actually are. It's just a plastic spudger. And you want to find a seam. You want to start working your way around this guy here. And look at that, nice and released. Speaker popped up. Magnet and those things like to attach to stuff. And as you can see here, nice and simple now that we have it open. Everything is nice and easy to upgrade, which we love to see. This is going to be pretty awesome and pretty easy for any home users when they want to get into this. Of course, first and foremost, you're going to want to unplug your battery. Such a pain. I want to get all these wires up out of the way here. Just using a little plastic spudger to help me out. The battery is unplugged, and now we can start talking about everything in here. This is the stock SSD it comes with. It's an Intel 760p series, 512 gig. Pretty nice little drive over here. We have a second upgrade slot over here. If you wanted to add a second NVMe in here, it's going to be a 2280 M.2. You've got your brand new killer 1650X Wi-Fi in here. This thing should be a beast, get you some nice transfer rates. And of course we have your RAM. Nice simple upgrades, we'll show you how to go about that. And when you're looking up here, this is going to be your CPU, this is going to be your GPU. If you are looking to upgrade this, you can't. They're soldered on. If you do need to change anything, if you need to upgrade the thermal paste or change the thermal paste for some reason, just follow the grid pattern here. It is numbered out like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it should all come out as one assembly together. Let's get into the basic upgrades that we came here for. First and foremost, if you were going to upgrade your RAM, again, it's pretty simple. You're going to take these two pins here and pull them out to the side. It's going to allow this RAM module to pop up to a 30 or 45 degree angle. It's going to pull right out. Nice and simple. And to install a new RAM module, say you wanted to go with 32 gig module, since this thing is capable of 64 gigs, you would literally do the same thing, put it back in there at that 30 to 45 degree angle, snap it down. You can do the same thing with the other stick as well. When you are working inside the laptop, you will need a simple Phillips head bit to work with simple things like this NVMe over here. So we're going to go ahead and unscrew this NVMe. One screw, nice and simple. Again, pops up to that 30 degree, 45 degree angle. Pull it right out. You see this on top here is a thermal pad. If you were going to replace this drive because it failed or you wanted to upgrade to a larger size, make sure that you transfer this thermal pad. That's going to help keep this drive nice and cool, which means it's going to transfer nice and fast and live a long time. To install your replacement drive or upgraded drive, put it back in at that 30 to 45 degree angle, tamp it down, screw it back in place. And that's pretty much it. Some other things to note here, it looks like you got your PCH that actually has a heatsink on it. A lot of times you see that they leave these bare. That means that this thing should be nice and cool. And as we did discuss earlier, the laptop is definitely aimed at creators with that HDR 400 display and that 4K. It's only going to be a 60 Hz screen, but it's IPS. We're going to just plug that battery back in here. We're going to put the bottom back on. It does have the entry-level HDR cert, but just having an HDR cert period is pretty awesome. It should mean the display is absolutely beautiful and great for creators who are on the go. And I know there's more and more of those nowadays. So if you're in the neighborhood for an amazing creative laptop, this is going to do the trick. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put this bottom panel back on. Make sure it's nice and snapped in first, and then make sure you have the right bit on since you were just working with a Phillips head inside the chassis. So these two screws here in the back of the laptop did not come out. They should have, but they didn't. But they were loose, so whatever. We're gonna go ahead and secure those first. Follow your screw grid, but again, it's not really important on this laptop since all the screws are the same length. Put everything back in. Shouldn't have any leftover screws. Bottom is back on the laptop. No extra screws. We did a good job. All right, guys and gals, that concludes our tour and tear down here of the AERO 17 HDR XA laptop by Gigabyte. This has been Austin with Computer Upgrade King. Just happy you guys stopped by. Make sure to ring that bell, hit that subscribe button so you make sure to stay up to date on our latest videos.